Good morning, everyone. I want to start by asking you a simple question. Why do we admire people who achieve the impossible? The athletes who push beyond their limits, the entrepreneurs who refuse to quit, the artists who create against all odds. We admire them because they embrace something most of us try to avoid: suffering. But here's the truth. Greatness isn't born from comfort. It's forged in struggle. The most successful people in the world don't wait for life to challenge them. They choose to suffer. They push themselves beyond their breaking point, not because they have to, but because they know that's where growth lives. From the moment we are born, we are wired to seek comfort. It is natural to avoid pain, to look for security, to build a life where we feel safe, but the very thing we seek for peace is often the thing that holds us back from becoming who we are meant to be. Comfort, when left unchecked, becomes a trap. It keeps us stagnant, weakens our resolve, and slowly robs us of the ability to grow. We convince ourselves that an easy life is a good life, but in reality, an easy life is an unfulfilled life. Growth demands discomfort. The process of becoming stronger, wiser, and better at anything requires struggle. Muscles grow when they are torn, minds expand when they are challenged, and character is built through adversity. Yet most people avoid the very thing that makes them better. They choose to stay within the limits of what feels safe, refusing to push beyond what is familiar, and in doing so, they unknowingly hold themselves back from what they are truly capable of achieving. When you stay comfortable, you stop evolving. You may not feel like you are moving backward, but the world is always moving forward. Others are pushing themselves, learning, growing, and adapting. If you are standing still, you are falling behind. Comfort gives the illusion of stability, but in reality, it is a slow decline into mediocrity. The longer you stay in a place of ease, the harder it becomes to break free from it. The people who accomplish extraordinary things understand this. They know that comfort is not their friend, it is their enemy. They embrace discomfort, not because they enjoy suffering, but because they know it is the price of greatness. They wake up earlier than they want to, train harder than they feel like, and work longer than what seems reasonable. They do what is difficult because they understand that difficulty breeds strength. History is filled with examples of individuals who refuse to settle for comfort. The greatest athletes push through grueling training sessions, the most successful entrepreneurs risk failure time and time again, and the most respected leaders have faced countless setbacks. They did not reach the top by staying in a place of ease. They forced themselves to endure discomfort until it became normal. What once felt unbearable eventually became routine. Discomfort is not something to fear, it is something to seek. The strongest people are not those who have had the easiest lives, but those who have faced adversity head on. They have built resilience through struggle, confidence through failure, and discipline through hardship. They have conditioned themselves to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And because of that, they can handle whatever life throws at them. The modern world has made comfort more accessible than ever. Everything is designed to be easier, faster, and more convenient. But convenience comes at a cost. When everything is handed to us effortlessly, we lose the ability to work for what we want. We become dependent on ease, and when real challenges arise, we are unprepared. The more we indulge in comfort, the weaker we become. The reason so many people feel stuck in life is not because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity. It is because they are unwilling to endure discomfort. They want change without effort, success without sacrifice, and progress without struggle. But nothing meaningful in life comes without a price. The people who achieve their dreams are not necessarily the most gifted or the luckiest. They are the ones who are willing to suffer. Pushing beyond comfort is not just about success. It is about becoming the kind of person who can handle anything. It is about developing the mental toughness to keep going when things get hard. It is about proving to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, you build a new level of confidence. You start to realize that the limits you thought you had were never real in the first place. The greatest breakthroughs in life happen just beyond the point where most people quit. The moment when everything in you wants to stop, when the discomfort feels unbearable, when your mind tells you to turn back. That is the moment when you have a choice. You can either give in to comfort and stay the same, or you can push through and grow into something greater. Most people choose the first option. The few who choose the second are the ones who go on to do incredible things. Society often teaches us to avoid pain, to take the easy route, to settle for what is comfortable. But those who follow that path rarely find fulfillment. They may feel safe, but they also feel empty. Because deep down, we all know we are capable of more. We all have an instinct that tells us we are meant to grow, to push, to evolve. When we ignore that instinct, we feel a sense of dissatisfaction that no amount of comfort can fix. There is no shortcut to greatness. There is no easy way to become strong, successful, or fulfilled. The only way is through discomfort. The only way is to willingly step into the struggle, to embrace the pain, and to train yourself to thrive in situations where most people break. The more you do this, the less fear you have. The more you suffer by choice, the less suffering life can throw at you that will break you. The key to unlocking your full potential is not in finding an easier path, it is in choosing the harder one. The moment you accept that discomfort is necessary, everything changes. You stop waiting for motivation, you stop making excuses, and you start doing what needs to be done. You start embracing the struggle instead of avoiding it. And once that shift happens, nothing can stop you. Most people spend their lives avoiding pain, discomfort, and struggle. They believe that the less they suffer, the better their lives will be. But the reality is the opposite. The people who deliberately put themselves through hardship, who choose to suffer on their own terms, are the ones who develop the strength, resilience, and mindset needed to achieve great things. Voluntary suffering is not about punishment. It is about preparation. It is about conditioning yourself to handle adversity so that when life inevitably challenges you, you are ready. When you choose to suffer voluntarily, you take control of your growth. You no longer wait for circumstances to force you into difficulty. You step into it willingly. This is what separates the strong from the weak. Most people only push themselves when they have no other choice. When life corners them and demands, they fight back. But those who understand the power of voluntary suffering push themselves before they have to. They train in discomfort so that when real challenges arise, they are not caught off guard. They have already been through worse, and because of that, they can endure. There is a reason why the world's top performers, from athletes to military personnel to entrepreneurs, embrace suffering. They know that discomfort is the greatest teacher. It forces adaptation. It builds discipline. It strengthens the mind and body in ways that nothing else can. When you wake up early to train while others sleep, when you choose to work harder than what is required, when you step outside your comfort zone repeatedly, you develop an edge over those who avoid discomfort. You become someone who can handle more than the average person, and that alone sets you apart. Suffering by choice changes the way you see pain. Most people fear discomfort because they associate it with failure, weakness, or danger. But when you voluntarily put yourself in difficult situations, you begin to see pain differently. You start to realize that it is not something to avoid, but something to embrace. You see that pain is proof of progress, that it is a sign you are pushing beyond your limits. Instead of running from it, you start chasing it, knowing that each moment of struggle is making you stronger. The mind adapts to whatever it is exposed to. If you live a life of ease, avoiding difficulty at all costs, your mind becomes fragile. Small inconveniences feel like major obstacles. The slightest discomfort makes you want to quit. But if you expose yourself to suffering regularly, your mind toughens. You become unshakable. The things that once felt unbearable become normal. What used to break you now barely affects you. You develop a level of mental resilience that allows you to thrive in situations where others collapse. Voluntary suffering is also the ultimate test of discipline. Anyone can work hard when they feel motivated, when conditions are perfect, when there is no resistance. But true discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it, even when everything in you wants to stop. When you willingly put yourself through difficult tasks, whether it's intense training, long hours of focused work, or pushing through exhaustion, you train yourself to act based on commitment, not feelings. You learn to override the voice in your head that says, "This is too hard," and instead replace it with, I keep going anyway. Most people wait for life to challenge them. They only find out what they are capable of when hardship is forced upon them. But those who suffer by choice don't wait for external forces to shape them. They take control of their own transformation. They push themselves harder than life ever could. They intentionally do what is difficult so that when real adversity comes, they are not just prepared, they are already stronger than whatever is in front of them. Choosing to suffer also changes the way you perceive comfort. When you have willingly endured hardship, you no longer take comfort for granted. You appreciate rest because you have earned it. You enjoy success because you understand what it took to get there. You become grateful for the things most people overlook. When life is too easy, people become numb to their own privileges. They stop appreciating the small victories, the little moments of peace. But when you have suffered, every bit of comfort feels like a reward, not an entitlement. Many people believe that they need motivation to take action, but the truth is that action creates motivation. When you choose to suffer, when you get up early, train hard, work beyond exhaustion, you create momentum. You prove to yourself that you are in control, that you are stronger than your excuses. This momentum fuels further action, and before you know it, you have built a habit of doing hard things. You no longer need motivation because discipline has taken its place. The beauty of voluntary suffering is that it builds a mindset of invincibility. When you have endured self-imposed pain, nothing the world throws at you feels overwhelming. You no longer fear discomfort because you have already faced it and survived. You no longer see struggle as something negative, but as an opportunity to grow. You become the kind of person who does not break under pressure but thrives in it. The kind of person who does not wait for challenges but seeks them out. The kind of person who is not controlled by circumstances but shapes their own destiny. Discipline is the ability to choose discomfort today for the sake of something greater tomorrow. It is the decision to do what is necessary, even when it is painful, inconvenient, or exhausting. Most people wait until they feel ready, until motivation strikes, until conditions are perfect before they take action. But those who succeed at the highest level understand that waiting is a trap. Motivation is unreliable, conditions will never be ideal, and if you only act when you feel like it, you will never achieve anything worthwhile. Discipline is what separates those who talk about their goals from those who actually accomplish them. At its core, discipline is the willingness to suffer now so that you don't have to suffer later. It is the understanding that there is no escaping hardship in life. You either endure the controlled suffering of discipline or the uncontrolled suffering of regret. There is no third option. Every choice you make either strengthens your future or weakens it. Every time you take the easy route, you are borrowing comfort from the future at the cost of your growth. Every time you choose to push through difficulty, you are investing in your own strength. The problem is that most people want the rewards without the sacrifice. They want to be fit without training, successful without working, and skilled without practicing. But the equation is simple. The price of anything valuable is paid in advance. You do not get the benefits first. You put in the work, endure the struggle, and only then do you see the results. The world does not reward excuses, emotions, or intentions. It rewards discipline. The person who shows up every day, no matter how they feel, is the one who wins. Discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. The less you use it, the weaker it gets. People who lack discipline are not necessarily lazy. They have simply trained themselves to avoid discomfort. They have built a habit of quitting when things get hard, of delaying effort until they feel inspired, of choosing temporary pleasure over long-term fulfillment. But just as bad habits are built through repetition, good habits are built the same way. If you force yourself to act despite how you feel, eventually it becomes automatic. The struggle that once felt unbearable becomes routine. Pain is the price of discipline, but the pain of discipline is far less than the pain of regret. The person who refuses to train today will suffer in competition. The entrepreneur who avoids the hard work of building a business will suffer from financial insecurity. The student who neglects their studies will suffer the consequences later. There is no escaping hardship. It simply shifts in form. Discipline allows you to take control of which kind of suffering you experience. Instead of being a victim of circumstances, you become the architect of your own life. Most people do not struggle with discipline because they lack the ability to work hard. They struggle because they negotiate with themselves. They allow their feelings to dictate their actions. They wake up planning to exercise, but when they feel tired, they tell themselves they'll do it tomorrow. They intend to work on their goals, but when they don't feel motivated, they push it to another day. The problem is, tomorrow never comes. The habit of delaying effort becomes ingrained, and before they know it, years have passed without progress. The solution is to eliminate negotiation. Discipline means doing what needs to be done regardless of feelings. It means treating your commitments like obligations, not options. The soldier does not ask himself whether he feels like training. The athlete does not debate whether today's a good day to practice. They simply do it because it is who they are. Success is not about what you do occasionally, it is about what you do consistently. The key to building discipline is starting small. Most people fail because they try to overhaul their entire life in a day. They go from doing nothing to trying to do everything, and when they inevitably fail, they quit. But discipline is built through gradual resistance. It is about proving to yourself, little by little, that you can handle discomfort. You don't have to start by running 10 miles a day. Start by running 1. You don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. Start by waking up 30 minutes earlier. The goal is not perfection, but consistency. The moment you realize that your future is entirely in your hands, everything changes. There is no secret formula, no shortcut, no magic pill. It is simply a matter of choosing to suffer today so that you can be stronger tomorrow. Every great achievement is the result of thousands of small decisions made daily to endure discomfort in pursuit of something greater. Those who understand this stop looking for motivation and start relying on discipline. And once you master discipline, there is nothing you cannot achieve. Struggle strips away everything artificial and reveals the truth about who you really are. When things are easy, when there is no pressure, no resistance, it is simple to believe that you are strong, disciplined, and capable. But it is only when you are tested, when you are pushed to your limits, when things do not go as planned, that your true nature is exposed. Most people avoid struggle because they fear what it might reveal. They fear discovering that they are not as tough as they thought, that their willpower is not as strong as they believed, that their confidence was built on comfort rather than resilience. But struggle does not create weakness, it reveals it. And once something is revealed, it can be worked on, improved, and strengthened. Those who embrace struggle, who allow themselves to be tested, gain a deep understanding of their own limits and how to push past them. Life will test you whether you are ready or not. No one escapes hardship. At some point, you will be faced with challenges that feel overwhelming. If you have never allowed yourself to struggle before, if you have always taken the easy path, you will be unprepared. But if you have trained yourself to endure discomfort, to push through pain, to keep going when things are difficult, you will not break. You will rise to the occasion because you have already been forged in the fire of struggle. Struggle is the ultimate teacher. It forces you to confront your weaknesses, to adapt, to find solutions, to keep going despite setbacks. It reveals your character, your true level of commitment, your ability to persist when the reward is not immediate. Many people claim they want success, discipline, or strength, but when struggle arrives, they retreat. They want the results without the process, the rewards without the sacrifice. But the struggle is where the transformation happens. It is in the moments of difficulty that you decide who you are going to become. There is a reason why those who have endured great hardships often emerge stronger than those who have had an easy life. Struggle forces you to develop resilience. It teaches you to handle failure, to stay focused under pressure, to endure discomfort without losing sight of your goal. Those who have never struggled crumble at the first sign of adversity. But those who have been through it before, who have felt the weight of failure and kept going, are unshakable. They know that struggle is not the end, it is the path. Most people underestimate their ability to endure hardship. They assume that discomfort means they are not capable, that struggle is a sign they are on the wrong path. But struggle is not a stop sign, it is proof that you are pushing beyond your previous limits. Every time you push through resistance, you expand what you are capable of. What once felt impossible becomes routine. What once seemed unbearable becomes normal. You grow not by avoiding struggle, but by leaning into it. The people who achieve the most in life are not necessarily the most talented or the most intelligent. They are simply the ones who refuse to quit. They are the ones who understand that struggle is temporary, but the lessons it teaches last forever. They do not run from difficulty, they embrace it. They know that on the other side of struggle is growth, strength, and transformation. There is a moment in every struggle where you are faced with a choice. Give in to the pain, the fatigue, the doubt, or push forward despite it. This moment defines you. It is where your real character is revealed. Anyone can work hard when things are easy, when they feel good, when there is no resistance. But true strength is built in the moments when you want to quit and choose not to. Struggle humbles you. It reminds you that you are not entitled to success, that you must earn every inch of progress. It removes the illusion of control and forces you to adapt, to dig deeper, to find strength you did not know you had. It breaks down ego and replaces it with discipline. The strongest people are not the ones who have never failed. They are the ones who have failed over and over but refuse to stop. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to prove to yourself who you really are. Struggle does not weaken you, it strengthens you. It prepares you for greater obstacles, greater opportunities, and greater responsibilities. The only way to become unbreakable is to be tested, to be pushed, to be challenged in ways that force you to grow. The more you struggle, the stronger you become, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Those who understand this do not fear struggle. They seek it out, knowing that it is the only path to true growth. Most people live their lives ruled by their emotions. They wake up and decide whether they feel like working hard, whether they feel like pushing themselves, whether they feel like doing what needs to be done. But feelings are unreliable. They fluctuate, they shift with circumstances, and they rarely align with long-term success. If you rely on motivation or emotions to dictate your actions, you will always be inconsistent. And inconsistency is the enemy of progress. Emotions are temporary, but discipline is permanent. The strongest people in the world are not the ones who feel the most motivated. They are the ones who act regardless of how they feel. They have trained themselves to show up, to do the work, to stay committed even when their emotions scream at them to stop. They understand that their feelings do not get a vote when it comes to their success. They push forward. Not because they always want to, but because they have made a decision to do so. The truth is, most of the things that will lead you to success are things you will not feel like doing. You will not always feel like waking up early. You will not always feel like pushing yourself in training. You will not always feel like working harder than those around you. But none of that matters. What matters is that you do it anyway. Because the difference between those who achieve greatness and those who don't is not talent, intelligence, or luck. It is the ability to act despite how they feel. The problem with allowing emotions to dictate actions is that emotions are inconsistent. One day you feel inspired, full of energy, ready to take on the world. The next day you feel tired, distracted, unmotivated. If you only take action when you feel like it, your progress will be random, unpredictable, and slow. But if you learn to push through even when you don't feel like it, you create momentum. You build consistency. You train yourself to operate at a higher level, no matter what is happening around you. There is a reason why the greatest athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders wake up and follow their routines regardless of how they feel. They understand that success is not built on emotion, it is built on discipline. If they only trained on days they felt great, they would never reach their full potential. If they only worked on their goals when they felt inspired, they would never accomplish anything significant. They have learned to separate their actions from their emotions. They know that their long-term goals are more important than their temporary feelings. Most people allow their emotions to control them, and because of that, they never reach their full potential. They give in to the excuses their mind creates. They tell themselves they will start tomorrow, that they need to wait until they feel ready, that they will work hard when they feel more motivated. But tomorrow never comes. Readiness never arrives, and motivation is fleeting. The ones who win in life are those who refuse to wait for the perfect moment. They take action even when they don't feel like it, especially when they don't feel like it. There is a shift that happens when you stop listening to your emotions and start acting based on discipline. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop allowing your mind to talk you out of doing what needs to be done. You take control of your actions, and in doing so, you take control of your life. You realize that feelings are just noise. They come and go, but your commitment remains the same. And this is why so many people struggle with consistency. They assume that those who succeed are always motivated, that they always feel excited to do the hard work. But the truth is, the strongest people feel the same doubts, the same fatigue, the same resistance as everyone else. The only difference is that they do not listen to those feelings. They have trained themselves to move forward anyway. Your mind will always try to find the easy way out. It will always look for comfort, for reasons to delay, for excuses to avoid discomfort. But the more you ignore those voices, the weaker they become. The more you act despite how you feel, the stronger you become. Eventually, it is no longer a battle. You don't wake up debating whether to train, you just do it. What if you don't sit around waiting for motivation? You act because it is who you are. This is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who don't. It is not about talent or intelligence. It is about learning to operate on discipline, not emotions. It is about committing to something and following through no matter what. Because when you master this skill, nothing can stop you. You no longer rely on fleeting bursts of motivation. You become unstoppable because your actions are no longer controlled by how you feel in the moment. When you look at successful people, you don't see their struggles. You see the results. You see the accolades, the fame, the wealth, the achievements. But what is often overlooked is the relentless commitment to doing what is difficult. Success is not born out of comfort. It is not born out of ease or convenience. It is born out of the willingness to face hardship head-on, to embrace discomfort, and to keep going when everyone else would quit. The successful do not avoid difficulty. They seek it. They know that every moment of challenge is an opportunity for growth, and they take advantage of it. When you choose to put yourself through difficult tasks, you are not punishing yourself, you are preparing yourself for the future. In every hardship, there is a lesson. In every moment of discomfort, there is an opportunity to build resilience, discipline, and strength. Most people want to skip the struggle, but the struggle is where the real work is done. It is where character is forged and true growth happens. The people who avoid difficulty miss out on these crucial lessons, and as a result, never reach their potential. The process of struggling, pushing yourself beyond what feels comfortable, is the path to mastery in anything you do. Whether you're an athlete, an entrepreneur, or an artist, the difference between those who excel and those who stagnate is their willingness to face difficulty. The successful are the ones who don't shy away from the hard work. They embrace it, knowing that it is only through sustained effort, consistent discipline, and a willingness to endure struggle that they will ever achieve greatness. The truth is, everyone faces challenges. It's not a matter of avoiding difficulties. It's about choosing the right ones to face. If you spend your life avoiding hardship, you end up avoiding the very things that would lead you to growth. The successful understand this, which is why they embrace struggle. They understand that hardship is not a sign of failure, but a sign that they are on the path to something greater. They understand that if they want to reach the highest levels of success, they must continually challenge themselves. They must constantly seek out discomfort, not run from it. To succeed, you must stop waiting for things to be easy. You must stop expecting the road to be smooth. Success does not happen without effort, without sacrifice, without discomfort. The moment you embrace this truth, you free yourself from the illusion that success comes easily. You stop looking for shortcuts and start looking for opportunities to push yourself harder. The more difficult the path, the greater the rewards. But those rewards only come to those who are willing to do what others are not willing to do. And what others are not willing to do is endure hardship for the sake of something bigger than themselves. People often underestimate the power of persistence. They think that success is reserved for the naturally gifted, the lucky, or the privileged. But the truth is, success is often a result of one simple thing: the ability to keep going. It is the ability to endure, to push through when others quit, to stay committed when progress seems slow, and to keep putting in the work even when it feels like nothing is changing. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is often just this ability to persist in the face of difficulty. The act of putting yourself through hardship, of embracing discomfort, is a mindset shift. It requires you to view struggle as something positive rather than something negative. Most people see struggle as a sign that they are on the wrong path. They think that if things are hard, it means they are not meant to succeed. But the successful see struggle as a sign that they are doing something right. They understand that it is the challenges that make success meaningful. It is the discomfort that makes the victory worth celebrating. Without the struggle, the success would not be as sweet. You cannot reach your full potential if you are constantly avoiding the discomfort that comes with growth. You must intentionally choose the hard path, because it is the hard path that leads to greatness. Every time you face difficulty and choose to push through, you are building the resilience, focus, and discipline necessary for long-term success. The more you embrace this mindset, the more unstoppable you become. The challenges that once seemed insurmountable become stepping stones, and every setback becomes an opportunity to learn and grow. In the end, the people who achieve the most are not those who take the easiest route. They are the ones who put in the work when it's hard. They are the ones who choose to endure the suffering, the sacrifice, and the struggle because they know that it is only through this process that they will achieve something great. Success is not for the faint of heart. It is for those who are willing to endure, who are willing to fight through the discomfort and come out stronger on the other side. And it is those people who, in the end, will look back and realize that it was the struggle that made all the difference.